Hello and welcome to my channel CDMat. Today I'm going to be showing some of the dosimeters they were using and dosimeter chargers they were using back in the 50s and 60s for civil defense. This is a Bendix Model 1 FCDA item, CDV 750. It was actually a Model 643 Bendix. They had their own numbers on their units they made. And this is how you adjust it. Just charge. Now these all use D-size batteries, just one in each. This one was a little different though. This one had this plug here. Internally there's a cable with a that you can plug into your cigarette lighter, and then you can plug it into the other side of this. So this had external power where the other ones don't. Now to charge, you would put your dosimeter on it. First, if you wanted to see it, just to turn the light on. They all have a light on, so you first push it on halfway and you get a light, so you can read it. Now if you have to charge it, you push it all the way on, and then you would toggle this up and down to move the needle back and forth to re-zero it, because it fades to the right. As these absorb gamma radiation, they fade to the right, and to zero them you have to fade them back. You have to force it back to the whisker inside. Now these also had the Model 1 had a little carrying handle on it, quite a bit larger than the next version, which was the Jordan Model 2. Now these it's also they're all CDV 750s. The chargers were. This is you do the same thing as the Bendix. You toggle it up and down. Pull this cover off. You put your dosimeter in there. Usually you lay them down, but you don't have to. You can hold them up, and you can hold it up and do it if you wanted, but it's much easier on a table. The next year, the Model 3, they made out of plastic. It was Universal Atomics, same company that made the CDV 700, also out of plastic, around 1959. This used a potentiometer to adjust, to move the whisker back and forth, and you'd plug it in here, press it down on there. Oh, this is a Model 3, but there's not supposed to be a Model 4, supposedly, except I have this, because the Model 3, up until Model 3, they were FCDA items, where it says right here, FCDA, which is Federal Civil Defense Administration. And then for the Model 5, they changed to OCDM. They changed the name of the Civil Defense organization that we had going on. They changed it to OCDM, which is Office of Civil and Defense Mobilization. Now this one's not marked. It's a Bendix. It's a Bendix Model 850. It's made of plastic, so it seems like it would be somewhere in this range. It uses buttons to charge and discharge. You put your dosimeter in here. But since it's not marked at either FCDA or OCDM, I would think this possibly is a Model 4, maybe in that range. They just didn't bother marking it because they didn't know which. They were in the middle of a name change or something. Now the Model 5 again is a small, a little bit, just a tad bigger than the Model 2. Uses a potentiometer, plastic knobs, and cover here, made by Bendix. And then the Model 5B. So this is also a 5. It's actually, I think, a little, well, it's about the same size. This one uses metal knob in the cover. They all work the same. This just swings it back and forth, upscale, downscale. And then in the 80s, they came out with the Model 6. It's actually a piezoelectric. It doesn't use batteries. And although this is marked FCDA, a FEMA item, because in I think 79 they rolled the Civil Defense Administration, or whatever they were calling it at that point, into FEMA. So it became a part of FEMA. Now to use this, you take your dosimeter and this trigger here moves this clamp. And the clamp's adjustable. If you need to, you can actually pull it out and in. And you clamp this with the, you always use these when you're looking through them. You always, when they put these clips on, they rotate them so that when the clip is up, you're seeing the scale side to side, so 0 up to whatever it is, whether it's 20 Roentgens like this. This one goes up to 20 Roentgens. This one here goes up to 200 Roentgens. I'm not sure what this one does. Let's look at it here. This one goes up to 200 Roentgens also. It's a 742, so that one's also 742. Now to use this, you would squeeze this to move the needle to 0 to charge it. They charge, all these chargers put out about somewhere around 160 volts or so, and that's what you have to charge these up to get them to 0. Now I made up a little box with a light in it, and I'll put it to the camera and see if I can show you this working, if I can keep it from moving around here. Oops. Okay, now when I squeeze the black bar, oops, there's there's the hair, and I'm going to bring it to 0. If I can keep it from moving here. So there is 0. Now, if I go past 0, I can push the little black button, and it will go back a little bit. Let me see if I can get it here. Sometimes you got to push it a little bit hard. There it is. So I got it to 0. And then a little bit too much, so I can just give it a little bit. So a little too much again. So you can go back and forth. See, 0 again. So that's how you just adjust it back and forth if you have to. So it's not too hard. These are really easy to use, these piezoelectric ones. And that's all you do is with that. And these dosimeters, some of these are older ones. Has the older sticker here. These are water decals. The older style are dull. The newer versions, more like the later 50s, were shiny. And then these other ones have these have stickers on them. So it's just a sticker. These Landsbergs. These are more 1960s. And then they also used dosimeter, film badges back then. This film badge is this is plastic. This is actually 1955, so I don't know when this was, more like later 50s or 60s. And around the early 60s, when Civil Defense were using those, Bendix came out with the family radiation measurement kit, because people wanted to have some, they want to have meters and dosimeters for their home fallout shelters. And so this is a home version, exact same unit basically as the Civil Defense version, just painted different. And it actually has the original battery, 20 cents on. It's marked 20 cents. $24.95. That's what this cost new back in probably 62, which is a lot of money in 62 to pay for something. And then I've got some military ones here. I mean, these are not military. These are more like 1940s. I showed these before. These, I think you just shook them like this, and somehow they would charge go back to zero. Some maybe static electricity or something. I'm not sure how they worked, but you know, they're kind of old, so they don't work anymore. And then this is military. Probably early 60s, I think, for these. This might have been a little later. This could be 70s or 80s even. But I think these were early 60s. You turn the knob, you put this here. And then, showed this before in another video. This is a pocket dosimeter. It's actually just a metal box with some glass ampule things with some kind of fluids in them that change colors when they get hit with radiation. All dosimeters work on gamma only. They don't detect alpha or beta. And then here's a couple. These are not military or civil defense. These are used for labs. Large ion chambers in here. This is our ion chamber. In the bottom of this also. This is actually a dosimeter in the middle with built into a dosimeter charger, so you could actually charge them. Same as this one, a little different. So that's about it for dosimeters. The only other thing is if you notice when I moved this, here's some odd early 60s, 61, 62, something like that. They came out with these. These were actually almost like a dosimeter. You could put them in your pocket, but these are actually radiation detectors. They detect gamma only, and there's a little buzzer inside. There's holes here, and there's a buzzer down inside, and there's a light bulb here. And these would, if they hit a certain amount of radiation, whatever they're preset for, they would go off, and the light would go on, and it'd be buzzing. So, you know, I don't know what batteries, maybe AA's or something. I'm not sure what they used. It could have been special batteries back then. And that's pretty much it for dosimeters and dosimeter chargers. That's about it. Thanks. Take care.